That works. All right. So it's a little bit after 2 o'clock. Welcome to the TRIO Show. My name is Brandon Bellamy. I'm the Associate Director for Student Support Services at Howard Community College. And as you can tell, I'm also a proud alumnus of North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, the largest, the greatest, the best historically Black college university in the world. And I got on the line today our newest staff member, Rah'Shad Bryant. He's an alumnus of Bethune Cookman University. We're going to get to him in a second. I just want to do a couple quick announcements. I want to thank all of our staff. We had Stephanie on Wednesday. Stephanie Durr, our assistant director, will have Carrie Godin on next Wednesday. She's our tutoring completion specialist. Really want to thank our director of academic support services. She's a Howard University alum, Deborah Green, because she's allowing us to just do great work even in the midst of all of this insanity. And Rah'Shad had to answer about who's the real HG a little bit later. Hey, it's Stephanie. She'll pop in a second on the video. So a couple quick things. Please use our Starfish appointments link. It's on our homepage in Canvas. We really do want to make sure that we're seeing our students, making connections. If there's an issue, we'll work on fixing it, so don't freak out on us. Please use your HC email. We've had some of our colleagues get messages from our students from Gmail and Yahoo. Please use your HC email. The scholarship app is open. Please apply for HCC Educational Foundation scholarships. howardcc.academicworks.com. And for our TRIO students who are watching the grant aid applications live in Canvas, apply for the money. It's free money if you get the Pell Grant from us. Just engage with us. Thank everyone using the hashtag HCC Stronger Together. Take a picture, post a selfie. Let us know. Rah'Shad, Stephanie, y'all got anything you want to share right now?
Mother Day in Paradise.
Yeah. Hey, Stephanie. We're waving at Stephanie and she's not waving back.
Where?
Hey y'all.
Hey. You got anything you want to share with?
I'm sorry.
You got anything you want to share with the people right now?
I hope y'all taking care of yourselves. I'm just here for the tea between these two guys, Uncle B and Twin. I'm just here to see what this is about to be like.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun. So, all right. Well, we went through the announcements real quickly, so let's go ahead and get into this. So what's kind of cool is this. When we did our search, a lot of things came up, and we started thinking a lot differently and thinking about process improvement. And so we were able to pull off something really amazing. We're not going to dive into on this episode, but in mid-2020, January 2020, we brought on the newest member of our team. He came the furthest to get to us, and he's currently the youngest, not by much. A native of Daytona Beach, Florida. Rah'Shad came to us from Daytona State College, working in a pre-tutorial program and also academic advising. Prior to being at Daytona State, he was at Bethune Cookman and earned his master's from the University of Central Florida. And he's also a doctoral student at Liberty University. But Rah'Shad, what else we should know about you? So who are you?
Well, like you said, I'm from Daytona Beach, Florida, native, born and raised in Dirty South 386. I went to Mainland High School. Many of you guys may know Mainland as the high school Vince Carter went to. I had an uncle that played ball with him and his brother. Also went to Bethune Cookman. I am a husband. I was recently married in January, and I am a father as well to Bailey, who he is 2 years old. I also like to fish on my free time, so that's part of the reason why I kind of made my way back down to Florida during this pandemic to fish on the weekends, so I can exercise, I guess, keeping good standing with my faith and have a moment to myself, because a 2-year-old will run you crazy in the house all day.
We've been praying for you. I don't know. I started a hard enough time to take care of myself. So I commend you for just having you and your family. I don't think we got a chance to say this publicly. Congratulations on your marriage.
Thank you.
But when we hired you and you said you were about to get married the week before you started, we were like, how are you gonna pull this one off? Tell us about your wife. Like, how'd you meet her? Because I mean, I know part of the story, but what do you want to tell us?
So we're from the same area, Volusia County, which is the county we grew up in. She's from a small rural area named by the name of Oak Hill, Florida. And she went to high school about 30 minutes away from me. And she wouldn't date me in high school, but I seen her one day in financial aid office. I was just cruising, doing what I do, and told her to hit me up if she needed any help or assistance. And she was in my DM. And now let me change that before she come out of the room. But I shot my shot again. And here we are, years later, married. Last month, January. I'm sorry, on January 11th, we got married.
Awesomeness. So, we interviewed you October, November. We got you here in January, and for you, what has been the big transition coming from working in a pre-collegiate TRIO program to now working in a collegiate TRIO program?
That transition, it's been a big transition because when you're working in a pre-collegiate program, you're more so feeding them the information, how to get ready for college, how to prepare, what scores they need on the ACT, SAT, what are the GPAs looking like. Now working in a collegiate TRIO program, it's different because I'm back working with academic advising, but I'm also trying to help students transfer, help find the information on colleges that they can transfer to and the colleges that would accept majority of their credits. I guess developing different college cultural tours, college tours is a tremendous difference as well because more so in high school, students just want to go and get away, but actually for the college students, they're actually looking, especially at a community college, they're actually looking to where they want to further their education, what's going to be the next step. So it's more so for the college students to do or die with them.
Just thinking about in this transition. So when you were at Daytona State, you've worked both in the TRIO program and in academic advising. Where do you feel that your heart's at, or do you think that both of those together really make who you are as a professional?
I definitely think both of those together kind of makes me as a professional. One, because I like to provide structure and guidance. And also I like to work with students who come from a similar background as myself, being that I am a TRIO alum from Upward Bound program that was held at Daytona State College years ago. So definitely it's kind of developed me and helped me evolve as a professional because, like I say, giving guidance and then providing structure for students who may not have that structure at home. So that's really has helped me over the years.
Okay. Now, this role, completion specialist advisor, it's a relatively new role for this project and the way we've created it. And I remember on your first day telling you, you have wide latitude to try to build and get idea of what you want to do. So what are the biggest things that you would like to be able to accomplish as we move through the end of this quarantine period and prayerfully get back to normalcy at the start of the next cycle? What are some things you want to try to get done?
Number one, to be a big support for the students, especially during this transition from being in the classroom to now in the remote learning space. Definitely being a support, being there for them, making sure resources are available, and then also kind of find my footing within the program itself. Like you say, when day one, you told me that there's room basically to do anything you want to do, to dream big, and basically that's what I'm trying to do. Coming from a program where I really didn't have that initiative to dream big, now that I have the initiative to dream big, I want to make sure I take advantage of that because it's important to have the support of your supervisor and coworkers. And so I definitely think that will assist me in dreaming big. Definitely looking forward to, in the future, we were trying to do a service learning project, but definitely looking forward to trying to get that settled when everything goes back to normal and making sure we can start it and keep it going and making sure students can have an experience that can help and influence their lifestyle and make a difference within their life.
All right. As I told Stephanie on Wednesday, I'll be looking forward to a plan of action shortly. I got to do the same thing with some of my projects, so it's a lot. So
we can have a Zoom service learning project.
Real talk, that actually might be something that we might want to start see what we could do. When I think about student support services at Howard Community College, we're the granddaddy of all the programs. So if we think of something innovative, when we do it, everybody's gonna try to copy us.
Yeah.
So let's figure this one out. So higher ed is unique. I think for many of us, we didn't go to college thinking that we're gonna work in college. So how did you fall into doing this work? Were you in the kind of programs while you're at Bethune, or like what really got you into this higher ed work?
So crazy, like you say, we didn't go to college thinking that we would end up starting a career in higher education. I thought I was going to go into maybe youth ministry or even coaching football at the collegiate level. I thought about that for long and hard, and then one day I changed my major to religion philosophy full time. But little known fact about myself is while in college, I had a work study job, and at that work study job, I basically was the chauffeur for the president at that time of Bethune Cookman University, and I kind of seen behind the scenes operations of how the college functioned. And I was like, well, maybe I do want to work in higher ed. I saw the admissions organization going out recruiting students. I seen student development behind the scenes with SGA. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. So I got involved. I started working with what we call it Bethune Cookman Black Males Think Tank. It's an all-males organization. I think now they actually have some females who join. It's an all-males organization, similar backgrounds. We were all just trying to get into college, get involved, and graduate. And so I got involved with that, and as I became more involved, we started to become like the face of Bethune as far as male organizations. So I kind of started being mentored by a lot of the male president and vice presidents on campus. They kind of took me under their wings to make sure I was taken care of, well nourished, had everything, had books and stuff like that. And then once I went through that transition, that process, I kind of realized, okay, I think higher ed is where I want to be, because higher ed itself, in my opinion, it is a ministry. And I think when especially if you're working at a HBCU, your family. I listened to a podcast the other day. I think Dr. Herman Felton said, president of Wilder College, he said, HBCUs, we don't graduate students, we graduate families.
Yeah.
And I think higher ed at HBCUs, we're all about family. We're all about making sure each person at the table eats, making sure other people have spots at the table. And I'm like, if that's what it's all about, maybe I can see myself doing this for the long run, making sure not only I have a spot at the table, but my wife have a spot at the table. My family members and other friends and relatives have a spot at the table, and try to help them advance themselves.
Awesomeness. So I want to, you mentioned it a little bit, but I want to dive a little bit deeper into this, because you continue to always have some kind of Bethune-Cookman athletic wear. And I know you work with a football team. What did you do? What was that experience like? And how does, your experience working with the football team impact the work that you do for our students now?
Man, the experience with the football team was amazing. Besides the 4 a.m. practices, waking up, being on the beach, and being at workouts, like I was telling my younger sibling, because he plays football now, even though I wasn't a player, I was more of an equipment manager, it's a commitment. You have to be just as committed as the players are, because they want to call on you to be there at 4 o'clock in the morning to make sure everything is set up, and then you can't leave until everything is broken down. So it kind of taught me, it has taught me consistency. It taught me the importance of time and being very urgent and taking advantage of all the time that I have in the day. Football was my life. While I was at Bethune, I was able to win 2 conference championships as an equipment manager and 1 national HBCU championship under Coach Brian Jenkins. He was like a father figure to me, and very, very great guy. He always, like I said, he always looked out for me. I remember one time he told the people, I don't care if nobody else is on the plane, but you make sure Buddha's on the plane. That's my nickname. And ever since he said that, he stuck by it. Until this day, he reaches out to me. I reach out to him, make sure everything is good. And football has really taught me, it's more than the sports, the X and O's. It's taught me the importance of manhood, being surrounded around a lot of successful African-American males that are coaches still to this day. Taught me the importance of manhood, how to place the importance on family, make sure your family is straight while you're trying to accomplish your work goals as well. So football has really helped me. And even now today, I use some of my football quotes that I've learned while working and football analogies to assist students that may be going through hard times or trials, tribulations.
Okay. So I want to ask one more thing in this football space. Bethune's in the MEAC, A&T and Bethune has gone back and forth about who's been the top in the MEAC. But in all that time, what was your favorite trip?
Favorite trip while working with football, I have to say Florida State.
Okay.
Going to Florida State when we played Florida State. And we see that for HBCU football fanatics, we see that as a money game. But man, going into their facilities, I worked with the headset, so I was in the booth a lot with the coaches upstairs. And man, Brandon, they had a spread. I mean, anything you wanted to eat, you could take on, man. Ice cream, Haagen-Dazs, it was ridiculous. And I was telling my homeboy when I was working at the time, I said, man, they treat us like trash back home. All we get is a pulled pork sandwich. Upstairs, they had spaghetti, pizza, lasagna, all kinds of stuff, chicken parmesan. And I'm like, man, if this is what it's like to work for a FBS football team, I think I can see myself doing it. But definitely working for FSU. Going to FSU for that game and seeing their facilities and just seeing how their boosters and their alumni, they support the football team and definitely engage themselves.
Okay. So, and you kind of answered this, but I want to put this out there directly. So as an undergraduate student at Bethune or as an employee, what did you feel was your greatest achievement?
Greatest achievement at Bethune was, I guess, as soon as I graduated from Bethune as my undergrad, I started working. And so it was kind of an achievement to graduate and automatically get a job a month later after graduating, but to be that role model for guys I was just hanging out with the day before. They're still in school. Now they can see, hey, Rah'Shad is out of school working. It is hope for all of us. I definitely say that was my biggest achievement, and being able to keep in contact with those gentlemen to this day. Even now, I kind of keep in contact with those gentlemen, just making sure they're on the right path. They're doing what they're supposed to do.
So, you started working right after graduation, and then you decided to go to grad school. What made the decision to go to UCF? Like, why UCF out of all the choices for grad school? And then why do it while working?
Well, so at the time, I wasn't ready to go away from home. And I've seen that UCF had this outstanding program, education leadership online. I said, well, maybe this is the route that I can go because I can go in the class, well, not actually go in the classroom, but complete the studies online, but I'm also gaining my experience while working. And at the time, I was offered the job by the president of the college. So I said, well, I can't tell him no, because if I tell him no, then I may block my blessings forever. So I'm like, let me go ahead and just take this step and, accept the job he's trying to give me, put a little extra money in my pocket and complete my studies online. It was a challenge at first, but everything worked out that I was able to complete my master's in a year. And actually, after I completed my master's, I was able to start at Daytona State College. But I thought when I started grad school, I thought it was going to be like undergraduate school. You research, you read, then you write a summary. But then I figured after a while, you had to put a little more into it. So I say, oh gosh, this is where the challenges started to come, but it all worked out.
And so, you got done in a year. You started your program at Liberty. Have you seen any big differences in between your experiences as a student at Bethune or at UCF with how you're doing your doctoral work at Liberty right now?
Oh, definitely. At Bethune, like I say, it's more so, or any HBC is more so a family environment. Teachers are going to work with you. At PWIs, they want their work, no excuses. And it's basically, it's a great experience because it prepares you for that real world. I can't go into the office and say, "Hey, Brent, I don't have my report today," because that's not something. That's not something that's professional, or that's not something that is going to make me look good as far as my work ethic. So it kind of UCF has kind of prepared me as far as a professional, but Bethune has kind of prepared me as far, and Liberty both kind of prepared me as far as my spirituality life, and then just being personal with students and being able to relate and understand.
Okay. So, you've been at the college now almost 3 months. And shoot, real talk, you've only been on campus, 5 real weeks? Like, this is a very interesting start to a new job. But what have been some of the things that have surprised you about being at Howard Community College, or really just opening up to, since you left Florida, what have been some big things that have, caught your attention?
Number one, being that it's a community college, seeing that the students want to be on campus. The students want to be involved. The previous community colleges I was at, the students come to school, do what they need to do, and then they would leave. It wasn't no really time around that you could see them hanging out around campus. Now at Howard, students are there sun up, sun down. One day I was coming in on a Sunday to get some homework done, and one of our students, he was coming in with me. I was like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I'm going to the lab." And I was like, "Okay." And so it's amazing to see that students actually want to be on this campus. Oftentimes, when we say community colleges, at least down in the South, that we think of a plan B. That's our last option. But it seemed like at Howard Community College, students make Howard a first option. If it's not their first option, you can never tell because they fit right in. And then lastly, the support of your colleagues. To have that welcoming support from everyone on our floor, even people that I didn't even know, that I didn't know they knew me. They just welcoming. I'm glad to have you here. Ask me, do I need anything? That really can encourage you and kind of motivate you to come to work every day, kind of be involved and be active. And then to have a supervisor like Brandon. He's an A&T Aggie. That's the downfall of it. But Uncle B is going to make sure you're straight. Uncle B is going to look out, and Uncle B is going to keep it real with you. And I appreciate that.
I actually had a question I wanted to follow up with, and I just lost it.
Yeah.
I have to say, this for me is my first time supervising full-time budgeted staff members. And I have to say, I'm thankful that y'all have made it easy. But at the same time, I told this to Stephanie on Wednesday, and I've told it to y'all before. I want y'all to challenge me. Because, one of the things you've noticed me asking students, what did you learn today? And I ask y'all that because I think everything that we do needs to be part of a learning experience. And so since we're talking about learning experiences, let's get to my favorite part of this second episode of this new show called This or That. So I'm gonna give you a set of items. I might give you a little bit of insight behind it. Some of these items were crowdsourced by our staff, some of our students, and some of our friends around campus. So you're from the South. I want to know, who do you think has the best fried chicken? Bojangles or Church's?
Man, we don't eat Church's in Daytona. It got to be Bojangles. And Bojangles is actually, there was one about 40 minutes away, but we do not eat Church's in Daytona. So I have to go with Bojangles.
We'll try to figure out who actually really eat Church's chicken and how do they stay alive?
My dad eats it, but he loves their fried okra as well. But I every time he says Bojangles, I try to persuade him to at least go to Popeyes.
See, I'm not a Popeyes person, but I will go to Church's for that okra. All right. So, there's the running joke out there about, the Florida man. A man in Florida did something extremely outrageous. So I want to know this one. Who was the more interesting Florida man from the Florida Blue Florida Classic? Alvin Shine Wyatt or Billy Joe?
Whew. I have to go with Wyatt.
All
I have
right.
to go with Wyatt, home team, and because Wyatt is he's clean, man. Wyatt is just Wyatt, man. You can watch his interview and just think you at a comedian show because his analogies for football and his passion for the game is outstanding.
When he retired, I missed watching the replays of the MEAC press conferences.
Really?
Because you didn't know what you were about to expect or what you were going to get.
No, And the thing about it was, when I was in high school getting ready to graduate, I was actually going to Bethune to work for him as an equipment manager. But come to find out, he got fired that fall. But I'm still glad I went and ended up working for Coach Jenkins. But I was really going just to work with Coach Wyatt to get that behind the scenes. That man is a character.
I want to know, like how he got them outfits laid out, like, at halftime, like how does he go do a pep talk for the team and change? Like,
hey, I'm sure he changed first. That was very important to him.
So, okay. Now, so I know you have a background in religion and philosophy from undergrad. You've done some work in, the church. Out of these two theologians, who would you want to meet first? Howard Thurman or James Cone?
Whew, that's a tough one, Brandon. I say Thurman because I actually had time to study a little bit of Thurman while I was completing my studies at Bethune. I had an independent course that actually I needed to graduate, and the teacher selected for me to study Thurman. But definitely James Cone as well, because he is a giant, especially before he passed, and he was actually, living in the times that we're now experiencing most recently before he passed. So definitely both I would love to spend time with, but I would have to go with Thurman first.
Yeah. I would talk.
Thurman is from Daytona.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, his house is literally around the corner. Well, this doesn't give you a picture, but the church that I was attending before I moved, his house was literally in walking distance. The house he grew up in.
Yeah. The reason why I partly had that question, because I know that they are both giants, and they really do influence when we talk about Black Christianity, Black spirituality. And I've been finding myself going back and reading their work a little bit more this time because this is weird. There's nothing about this time that's normal. That just Thurman's mysticism, it's just something that really just stands out.
Oh yeah.
And Cone's understanding of just what the world is.
Yeah.
So all right, next one. So since we're thinking about the church space, and you've noticed at Howard Community College we're quite casual. I think you've only seen me wear a suit once in the time in the college, and maybe a blazer 2 times. You come in dapper. So if you had to go grab a suit today, are you hitting up Joseph A. Bank or Men's Warehouse?
Joseph A. Banks. But I'm going there with about 3 coupons. Joseph A. Banks, and I'm going there about 3 coupons.
All right. Okay. So, and see, how many? We got about 5 more of these, so this is gonna be fun. So,
okay.
We know that Bethune has your heart. But what powerhouse athletic institution in the state of Florida did you dream of going to while growing up? Between these 2 options, the University of Florida or Florida State?
University of Florida. Actually, I was going to go to UF. I was going to do you probably know it as a 2+2, go to State College, Community College, and then finish off at UF. But definitely University of Florida. At that time, when I was leaving high school, their athletics was amazing, and just to go to one of their games and actually go to any of their games, whether it's basketball or football, definitely is an amazing experience. Academic wise, UF has it, in my opinion, and a lot of my teachers, they are Florida Gators from high school, so they kind of helped influence that decision. I maybe had 1 or 2 Seminoles, but most of the other teachers, they were our Florida Gators, so definitely UF.
Okay. All right. So now, you're a native Floridian, and you're in prime family vacation territory. So which do you prefer, Walt Disney World or Universal Studios?
Well, before I had the kiddo, I would say Universal. But now that we have the kiddo, it's definitely Walt Disney. We have our annual passes, and so we go as much as we can. Now with the pandemic, we haven't been lately, and that also because we relocated to Maryland, we haven't been either. But definitely over the summertime when I can get home and take a couple of days off, we definitely spend some time enjoying all of the theme parks. But either one you go to, you're definitely gonna have an experience and enjoy it. So it's all about the experience.
Okay. And so since we're talking about, if we get back home, which beach is better, Miami or Daytona?
Miami. It has to be Miami. Daytona's more retirement area. So, you can just enjoy your family in Daytona, and you can just relax and chill. But if you want to hang out and you want to always get into something, you definitely have to go to Miami.
Okay. All right. So these last two probably gonna be controversial. So I'm gonna go with the most controversial one. Who's the real HU? Hampton or Howard?
Howard.
Why?
Definitely Howard. Howard is the Mecca. Howard is that you have Howard and the president right now, what's his name? Doctor, he's a surgeon. Can't think of his name. But they're doing things that are unheard of as a HBCU. Hampton, they're trying to get there. But Howard is setting standards for the majority of the HBCUs. And I definitely think Howard is I guess the role model that HBCUs are trying to strive after, and it's definitely a great role model to have.
Okay. So you actually sent this one. And so this is the last minute one. So in the world of all these club quarantines, I'm a little bit tired because I stayed up last night watching Teddy Riley. And we've been blessed with a lot of battles. So Sunday we got Teddy Riley versus Babyface. But on Saturday, we got two HBCU presidents doing their own aux court war. Dr. Walmark of Claflin, he just came from Harris Stowe, and then Dr. Abdullah from Virginia State. Who you got this weekend?
I'm gonna go with Dr. Walmark. I'm gonna go with Dr. Walmark. He's familiar with the ones and twos, and I think he's going to drop the list. Now I'm not gonna sleep on Dr. Abdullah now because Dr. Abdullah usually comes through. But I'm gonna go with Dr. Walmark this weekend.
Because if I remember correctly, didn't Dr. Abdullah work at Bethune at one point?
Right. So Dr. Abdullah was the provost, and Dr. Walmark was the vice president of student affairs.
Oh, I did not realize both were at Bethune. Okay. Oh.
Both were at Bethune at the same time. I believe Dr. Walmark left first, and he went to Harris Stowe, and then Dr. Abdullah left and went to Virginia State.
Okay. All right.
So there's some great guys that came out of Bethune. Well, I had a pit stop at Bethune.
Okay. So let's see. Let me get up there and let's see. So just looking at the at just the chat in there. So we got K Bell telling us Disney over everything. Also K Bell. So just for the record, K Bell is my sister. Thank you, Kendra, for watching today. So she went to Norfolk State, so she made it very clear she does not recognize the Institute. Meanwhile, I don't recognize Norfolk State. She'll say something shortly about that. We got a little bit of time, and I don't have any other questions that's prepared right now. So I'm gonna turn it back around. What do you want to know about me? Let's see how this plays out.
Let's see. So what is your long-term goal, Brandon? We talked about goals early in the year as a staff, and then we actually had a workshop. But what's your long-term goal, Brandon?
I think one of my biggest long-term goals, I would love to go back home to A&T and serve as chancellor. So probably, if life goes right, probably the 16th or 17th chief executive. Let's get a couple more people in there after Dr. Martin. Me and my friends, we talk about it, we joke about, come back home running, potentially getting an NCAA sanction or two. We're gonna win some championships. But I also think, I never thought I was gonna work in a community college. I remember being in my capstone class. I told my class, I said, community college is not gonna be for me. I'm not gonna do it. And I've spent my entire professional career at this point working in community colleges, between Prince George's, for their SSS program and academic advising, and now here at Howard. I'm in my 7th year. I told Deborah in one of my first meetings, I'm gonna give you 3 years and I'm out. And she reminds me on a regular basis that you're still here.
That's a good thing. How do you feel about the staff that you kind of put together, and kind of you brought in Stephanie from not too far. She was at another Maryland school, and now I'm here, and then Carrie as well.
So this has been awesome. I really love, the end of the hallway. When I started, we've always had a great staff at for TRIO. But what I think is really different about this makeup of our staff now, we're all HBCU alums. There was nothing intentional about that. That just happened. We had the best people come in, and you just happened to have gone to an HBCU. So whether it was Howard, A&T, Kentucky State, Spelman, Bethune, it just worked. But when we were looking to replace the former assistant director, and then ultimately we looked to replace our office manager and reconfigure the positions, we wanted new spirit. One of the issues we've had, our program's 4 years old, and we needed to start thinking differently. And so bring folk in who were a little bit more attuned with what our students need. I've been, 15 years since I started undergrad. So what my undergrad experience was like is completely different than what your undergrad experience was like. And so your experience is probably closer in line to what our students are seeing and what our students were dealing with. And so I think that's going to be important. And I just love the way that y'all work together. I'm the late bird, so I walk in, 10 o'clock. And I already see that all y'all have been talking, you start plotting and planning stuff. And it's like, hey, Brandon, I got a question, So for me, I love seeing that, because I know that you're coming here to do good work, and you're doing it for the right reasons. The moment I realize that you're not doing it for the right reasons, or the moment that I realize that I am not doing it for the right reasons, means that we need to start thinking about what's next. I don't believe that anyone needs to stay in a place, be unhappy, because it's going to directly impact how they work, and our students will figure it out. Because our students have already figured out, as they're meeting us, they're realizing, who they can click with the best.
Right, definitely.
Some of our students have also realized, like, oh, let me not get on Brandon's bad side. Yeah. So I just want to, so I'm looking at the YouTube. I want to make a note. So Carrie, she in the chat saying, is happy to be working with us. And Melody Gale, she has a question for me. And so she's asking me, why would Brandon bless his coworkers with biscuits from Biscuitville? We talked about this on the Stronger Together student hangout on Wednesday. The biscuits are not the same when you drive with them for about 4 hours.
No, it isn't. It isn't. I actually had the chance to stop by when I caught a flight out of Charlotte. I think it was last month. So the biscuits hot, fresh. Even the pork chop was fresh.
Right. You can't just put that, bring them back, and no. But the funny thing is this: we've actually talked about trying to go visit either Lynchburg University, or even if we can pull off doing a Southern tour, because I want our students to experience Biscuitville and a real Bojangles.
So you say there's something different about the Bojangles in North Carolina?
Right, there's something different about it. I really do believe there's something different about the true South. Maryland thinks it's a Southern state. Yes, they had slaves. I understand that piece, but to me, there is a difference between going to this Bojangles in Largo and then going to the one in Henderson, North Carolina, off 85.
It's different. The seasoning is different.
Right, the seasoning, and also I think there's a level of care and just how people interact. You know, a lot of places I go to up here. When we first moved here, about 20 years ago, I was young, so I really didn't fully understand a lot of the differences. It was just kind of cool to be up here in the north. But now, having gone back to Greensboro, gone to Iowa, I can see a difference, and I'm like, I kind of miss being able to go back home to High Point and people actually, want to say hi to you.
Right.
Yeah. Any other?
Definitely shout out to. I mean, our crew is like definitely a family. You got, as Stephanie can call them, TT Dale and TT Mel, and there's Uncle B and Carrie. I mean, it's a great experience to work with individuals who want the best out of young millennials working in our area, and that is very supportive. So definitely want to shout out to them.
All right. Well, do you have any other questions for me right now?
I don't think so.
To our viewers on YouTube, do you have any other questions for Rah'Shad or for me? I'm gonna look at the chat, see what happens. This, first of all, just doing this whole thing is kind of cool.
So definitely.
Like I had imagined doing this before, but since we have to do it from home, I was like, hey, let's make it happen.
I mean, the way you have it set up, it seems like a show that you've been doing for a while, though.
Real talk, no.
The way you have it set up, the script you have, how you have it outlined, I'm like, this guy here, friend is something else.
I know Stephanie's on the line. Stephanie, you have anything you want to chime in and share with us before we move on?
Nope, I'm good.
Stephanie probably making collard greens in the walk.
Hold on. I'm sorry, don't get to acting crazy in front of these people now, because if we was in the office, your whole demeanor would be different, twin.
I don't want the Detroit stuff. Okay.
Don't come on here asking for smoke. Y'all done had a very pleasant and respectable interview, and we want to keep it that way. Don't let these people see what goes on behind doors. Okay.
Real talk. I think they need to know that we work hard, we play hard.
Yeah. Definitely.
Talking about she making greens in a wok. You got your nerves. How many Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit sandwiches you done had since we've been working from home?
I haven't.
How many points you done racked up for us, twin? Lunch on you when we get back.
I haven't been to Chick-fil-A. I think I went to Chick-fil-A once.
Mhm. What you been eating? I know you've been eating pork chops.
No. I haven't had any pork. We've been eating healthy.
I'm proud of you.
My wife is in Maryland now, so she doesn't like pork. So.
Oh, good job.
So that's the only disagreement me and her
have. Like
but.
I sent you. I sent in the group chat the other day. Until we see a turkey pig, we're not eating turkey bacon.
No, I haven't had turkey bacon. I haven't had pork bacon either. I think
that's good, Rah'Shad.
Y'all talking about bacon?
It's been a lot of seafood, fish, shrimp, and then chicken.
Okay. Sounds good.
Now we're gonna have to have like a soul food potluck at the job.
Yeah, selective cookers.
Hey, we can make.
Why you said that?
We can make that happen. Remember, we're on YouTube Live. Don't say what you ain't want to say.
I just said selective.
We're gonna have a Florida fish fry at Howard Community College.
On Howard Pride patio.
Yeah,
on Howard Pride's yard.
Where is Sean at? Sean need to be on here. We need to tell him that's what we're gonna do. We need to get him.
Welcome back bash.
We're gonna do the fish fry. We're gonna have the grill out. We got a couple DJs.
I think the kids would enjoy that, man.
I think they would.
They bring a different experience. They can get that semi HBCU experience.
Mhm.
Okay.
Did Sean went to HBCU?
Yeah, Sean went to Bowie.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought he was weird. Let me stop.
He gonna watch this and he gonna show up.
He gonna come for me. Yeah, he gonna come for me. How's Terrell? I ain't heard from Terrell.
He didn't respond to that text. I'm gonna give him a call. I know that he's doing well. I actually
Okay.
popped into the Howard Pride little hangout. He's doing all right.
All right. That's good. Everybody's making it. Quarantine club quarantine.
Yeah. So this is all I got. So real quickly, just want to thank everybody for joining us for our second trio show. This has been fun. On next Wednesday, we have Carrie Golden. She's our tutoring completion specialist advisor. So we'll be interviewing our favorite Spelman alum on the show. Next Friday, apparently I'm gonna be on the hot seat, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how that's gonna work yet, so I'm actually scared about that one. Please email your feedback to us at trio@howardcc.edu. We want to adjust the show. We want to get ideas for the future because I'm liking this vibe, so I want to keep doing this. Let's see if we can get our students more engaged, get our community more engaged. So we need show ideas. Just remember, this is our show for the day. Join us next Wednesday. And as always, there are 3 S's in success. Peace.
All right, y'all.
All right, we'll see y'all.
All right.